Back to that deadly bar shooting from over the weekend. 10 Investigates has learned the city's attorney's office now planning to take legal action against the bar and property owners.
And according to records, the bar had a court order to cut back on hours, hire security, and restrict who could come in. Here's Chief Investigative Reporter Bennett Haverly with what else he's uncovered. Bennett?
Yolanda, the city attorney's office says even though the bar has changed ownership and its name, that venue is still subject to that court order from February that would have limited hours and require security in place. That's why they plan to ask a judge to hold the bar and the property owners in contempt. This weekend shooting at the Queen of Hearts pub up East Livingston claimed the life of 30-year-old Shamira Rhodes. Those who knew her described her as charismatic, a mother, a hairdresser, an entertainer. Her friends say they're struggling with the loss.
Her life was just cut down tragically, and it overwhelmed everyone who's involved in it. It is honestly something that we never expected to come in contact with. It is overwhelming, truly. Like, she has 3 children.
Tiara Walton described herself as Shamira's sister. While the two aren't blood related, she says she's helping raise one of Shamira's children and is now helping to plan her funeral. Walton says there was an altercation before this weekend's shooting. Columbus police would now like the public's help identifying these women who were in the bar early Sunday morning.
Where she was in that moment does not define who she was as a person or character or how this case should be looked at.
This is unacceptable, and anything that I can do, as I've told the family, as I've told other people, to push back against gun violence, I'm going to continue to do. This was just too much for me.
State Representative Latina Humphrey says she was friends with Shamira and has known her for 18 years. She says this weekend's shooting is a reminder of the current ease placed on gun restrictions and a lack of conflict resolution skills among people.
I don't care what the disagreement was, it didn't need to end in death.
Court records show the city attorney's office had taken legal action against the bar's previous owner, which compelled it to reduce its hours, hire security, and not allow anyone to enter under the age of 30. A clause in the document also states if there's a violation, the court may further close and board up the storefront. That holds true for the previous bar owner or its successor.
You can't just start shutting down all the bars because there is crime out there in the streets.
Attorney Jim Andrioff used to represent the bar's owner when it was called the Pelican Club. He says the city attorney's efforts to restrict or shut down certain bars after shootings won't quell future violence. Just send it elsewhere.
It just doesn't make any sense. It's never going to end.
But don't they bear some responsibility for what happens at their bar or their business?
There's no question that they bear responsibility for what happens at their bar. But if you're a business owner and you're trying to prevent things from happening by getting security detail or getting police, there's a big difference between getting Columbus police as security versus a private security company that doesn't get the same training.
Shamira Rhodes' friends say everyone bears some responsibility.
We're not removing any blame. We're not saying that, that it's entirely their fault. But what we are saying is everyone needs to play the role that they need to play and to stop these things from happening.
And tonight we've been unable to reach the current bar owner despite phone calls and 2 emails sent today. We're also hoping to get a response from the city attorney's office and the Columbus police about their efforts in working with some of these establishments and the enforcements there. We'll provide an update when we hear back. Yolanda?